podcast.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Open Mic Podcast with me, your host, Tom Hirst, brought to you by Richland Source and Newsroom After Hours. Today, I am coming to you guys to give an update on why I have just been MIA for I didn't even look, but it's been at least the summer, so it's been too long. It's been too long. So yeah, apologize for that impromptu hiatus, but a lot's been going on. There's been a lot of awesome shows that have happened this past summer into the fall. There's been a great festival that was had at Mansfield Music Fest. There's been a few other festivals. The Music and Art Festival that happens in the Square in September, beginning of September. That was awesome, and shout out to Victoria for putting on a dope art festival. That thing is consistently grown, it seems like, the last few years. That was a lot of fun. My newly sister-in-law had some stuff out there. I just got married in September as well, and so she does pottery. Sorry, Nat, I can't remember the name. Foul Clay, boom, nailed it. What's up? Foul Clay, she does wonderful work. Lots of cool artists. My cousin Crystal is out there helping out. She does a lot of good paintings, and she's a really good artist as well. Yeah, man, that festival's cool. I wasn't even intending on talking about that, but it popped into my head, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, Mansfield Music Fest was sick. Yeah, it's been a really good past 6-7 months, and so. Again, man, I think I kind of started losing a little motivation to do this towards probably May time, and I wanted to do stuff, but just I don't know, I just wasn't there, and so a lot has happened since then, and like I said, I got married in September. My wife and I have been moving everything into my apartment, and that's been wild and a lot. Yeah, and we did a lot. Went on our honeymoon to Maine. That was a lot of fun. So if you see me, ask me about it. I'll tell you about Katahdin, this massive mountain that took us 8 hours to hike. It was sick and exhausting and kicked our butts. It was a good time. So yeah, man, Mansfield Music Fest though, that was awesome. If you guys missed it this year, Austin and the crew over there that puts on the festival had some really cool, I think, updates to it this year, some changes that they made that really, I think, kind of changed the entire festival in my head. The way it was set up, it just made it feel a lot more official and a lot more intentional, maybe, I don't know, but it was really cool. The stage that Snow Trails built in front of their lodge area was incredible. The whole thing, it was a great day. I had to work the next day, so I missed Saturday, but I had a lot of fun. I had a blast. My wife and I really enjoyed it, and if you missed it, you missed out on a really good year. Next year should, and I know so far already, just with the ideas that Austin's told me about, it's going to be even better. It's a really, really awesome festival that Austin's helped shape and mold, and all the other hands that have been a part of it. It's really turning into a really, really fun, really massive, awesome thing. You got to check it out. If you don't, you're just not a fan of good music. I mean, I think really that's all it is. That's what it comes down to. Yeah, Mansfield Music Fest, great. What else happened? Oh, man. Oh, just went to the Ren this last Saturday for the artist showcase. That was pretty wild. By wild, I mean I never really expected to see those three artists, Ricky Mitchell, Jimmy Vincent Band, and Narrow Arrow, put to orchestral compositions. It was really, really cool, really beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that being a yearly thing, hopefully. I believe Jill, who works over at the Ren, Jill Henry, I believe she told me that they were trying to do it yearly. So if that happens, there's so many bands locally that I would love to see that kind of performance with. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and I hope it grows. I think it was really cool, the overall concept. They did 3 local artists, and each and their composer, I think is the Ren's composer. I don't actually know who the composer is, forgive me, but they composed the symphony to play along with the artists, and they learned their songs and wrote to it. It was just beautiful. And but yeah, each artist did 2 songs, and then they had a bunch of other songs that the symphony played in between, which was cool. But I would really like to see in the future, hopefully it did really well, and that there's a bigger buzz about it, so that they can put more time to doing and writing around more of the artist's songs. I know it's a massive undertaking. I can't even imagine how to even begin composing something around somebody else's song like that in a constrained amount of time. But yeah, hopefully there's a massive buzz about it. People tell the Ren you want to see more. Please get on their Instagrams and their Facebooks and all that stuff, and tell them how cool you thought it was if you made it. And if you didn't make it, please go check out. I saw there was a group of guys that were filming it, so hopefully they're going to be putting out the performances of each artist as a whole on YouTube or in video form of some sort. Because man, it was beautiful. It was so beautiful that yeah, I want to see more. So tell them you want to see more, because I think that's just such a cool, special project, and something that'll really unite the music scene as a whole. I know I'd never actually seen Jimmy Vincent Band before this. Didn't really know who he was. He's done a lot of cool stuff over the years, it seems like. Played with a lot of massive artists. Killer guitarist. Seemed like a really down-to-earth, cool guy. So hopefully I can get him on the podcast at some point in time. But yeah, man, so just bringing the music scene together with an aspect of the music scene, the symphony, the Mansfield Symphony, seeing that aspect of the music scene being brought in with the other already thriving music scene that Mansfield has. I get jazzed thinking about it. I want to figure out a way to make it even more practical. Like even, like coffee shop settings with like a quartet or something playing alongside of acoustic artists. I don't know, things like that, adaptable in that way. I have no clue how possible that is, because I know how difficult it is to write for that many instruments to somebody else's song locally that isn't naturally composed through the lens and thinking of an orchestra or a symphony, So incredibly difficult, I'm sure, but I think incredibly worth it. And selfishly, I want you to do it, make it happen, because I said so and I have a podcast. But yeah, that was cool. the Girds popped into my head. Oh yeah, that's why they popped into my head. Mansfield Music Fest. I think the day that I was there for Friday, Dive Bomb played, and I think the Girds stole the show, honestly. There was a lot of really freaking good heavy bands that played, but man, the Girds are getting really tight. And you can see it. It shows. You can tell they've been putting in the work. That stuck out in my head a lot. So if you guys hear this, keep it up. I was jazzed on that performance. Yeah. But I know they're putting out new music. Middling, see those dudes have been doing mini run tours, like 4 or 5 days, 3 5 days stretches, and I think they're out on the road right now, and it seems like they are really catching some traction because. There's a lot of people singing along in their videos that they're posting live and at these other sets, and that's super cool. Really, really cool. Those dudes are awesome, and they're really good musicians, and so I hope that they actually take off and really go somewhere within their genre. It's definitely not everybody's cup of tea, but it's there's a massive underground following for it, and it seems like they're making a name for themselves within that, and I'm really happy for them. So keep up the good work, guys. I'm looking forward to where you guys progress. That new song you put out, the beginning sounds like a lot of Spute, and good job. So yeah, you guys are nailing the genre based off of that. So keep it up. Yeah, man. Oh man, I'm missing so much. I should have made notes. I never make notes, and I should have. It probably shows, but whatever. Let's see. Oh yeah, Ill Will put out some new music. It sounded good. I'm looking forward to their growth as well. Man, so many other things that I'm not thinking about, and I apologize for not making notes. Just scroll through Instagram and see some stuff. Yeah, Dive Bomb's breaking up, I guess, is really a lot of the reason that spurred this impromptu update. So it's like 5 a.m, and I've been thinking about doing this for at least a month now, and I've been wanting to. But just haven't had the time, and when I have had the time, just I wasn't there yet, and so here I am, and Dive Bomb found out yesterday over text, unfortunately, because of how busy everybody is, which really plays to the reason why the band's ending, I think. And that's not any, shade at the rest of the guys. It's just, it is what it is. And it was really unexpected for me. And really unexpected, if I'm being honest. And I know everybody's heart is in it, but everybody's also super busy. And so when I really started thinking about how directionally Dive Bomb's really been kind of pulling in several different ways within the members. We all wanted to go in a similar direction, but it was really kind of torn. And so we've been having a lot of conversations the last 6-7 months now about what style, what sound. What does Dive Bomb sound like now? Where is it going? What do we want it to sound like? Because it's always been weird. It's always been hybrids of multiple subgenres of the hardcore scene, and so we've been struggling with that. And I think under the surface, a lot of us we like it. We've written several new songs, and all of them pretty much sound different. Which really, again, thinking about it, I hadn't really thought about that aspect, but I think that really says a lot for one of the major reasons why we ultimately are ending things now is the the lack of cohesive direction within the band, and thinking on these new songs that we have written, they are all completely different, really. I mean, there's some unifying themes, but they're all really different. And yeah, I think it's going to be a good thing, but I am slightly heartbroken over it. Yeah. I was excited for the newer directions. I think a lot more than some of the other guys, and that's understandable. And so I think as a result of that, I was really looking forward to seeing where we're continuing to go artistically with the style, but at the same time, it makes sense. It really does. And I know, like, I haven't done this in how long. A lot of the reason through lack of motivation was just how busy life has been lately. And I know I can look at the rest of the guys' lives in the band and say that very same statement as far as how busy they are all. And if our hearts aren't all fully in it directionally, it's difficult to continue finding the motivation to make and separate out the time in such busy lives to devote what it deserves. Yeah. Because, I mean, man, I love this band. It's been a massive part of my life for 10 years. Even in the times when it wasn't, I was still invested. Even the times when I wasn't in the band, I was still invested from afar. Wanting to hang out when they were using the studio space next to my apartment and help them write, even when I wasn't in the band. It's just, I love this band, and it's weird. It's weird that it's ending. But I think it'll be good for all of us. Jake and Austin put their heart and soul into it. I mean, they have been the consistent members. They're the reason why the band has started. In the first place, they really are dive bomb between the two of them. And they have invested so much more than I've invested or anybody else in the band. And if they have been talking about it and talking about this for some time between the two of them, then I know that this is the absolute best choice overall, because they are dive bomb, and they have directed it and worked their freaking butts off getting it to where it's been. And I appreciate everything and all the effort that they put into the band to make it possible for me to stand up on a stage and look like a fool for fun, while playing music that we really cared about. So, yeah, I know it's the best choice, and it's going to be good for everybody. It sucks, but November 10th is our last show. That's going to be a really, really, really fun show. And be the second time that I have last shows at that venue with bands that I care about. Two bands that I've cared about the most in my life, So that's weird. Yeah, I'm excited. Really is an end of an era. Massive, massive era of my life. Thinking about where I was when the band first started versus here where I'm at now. It's crazy. It's crazy what 10 years brings. It's crazy what 10 years changes. 10 years, it sounds like a lot, but it doesn't feel like it. And I feel old saying that, in the sense that you always hear older people say that it goes so fast, and time speeds up, it seems like, the older you get. And so, yeah, that's crazy. But thank you to the guys. Thank you to Austin and Jake for having me in the band and welcoming me in. Somebody who didn't know how to play bass going into the band. They just taught me what to play, what notes to play, what frets to hit based off of numbers, not even notes. I still really don't even know what notes I play. And yeah, man, just giving me a chance to look like a fool for fun on stage, playing songs that I love playing. Yeah, it's a freaking awesome time. Yeah, so that's happening November 10th. If you care about Dive Bomb at all, I look forward to seeing you there. Yeah, or if you don't care about Dive Bomb at all, but you want to be a part of a celebration, I look forward to seeing you there. So yeah. In other news, we finally got the skate park. The boys have Tanner and Gage and the Breakfast Club and everybody else involved have worked their butts off to get that, and they're probably out there every day. I have not gotten out there yet. To my shame, I should have, and I just haven't yet. So, apologize, boys, for not coming out and supporting yet, but I look forward to hopefully some really cool outdoor shows there next summer. Let's make that happen, because that's going to be sick. It seems like from the Instagram posts that you guys have been putting a lot of work out there already, ton of stuff that's being built and set up. If you like to skateboard or you'd like to learn how to skateboard, Tanner and Gage are two of the nicest people that I've ever met in my life. And if they see you out there and you don't know how to skateboard, don't be ashamed. Don't feel dumb. Ask them. They would be elated to welcome you into the skateboard community. I truly mean that, and I know that at the bottom of my heart. So, shout out to, again, the Breakfast Club, Aurelio, and I don't know who's all in it. I'm not even gonna try, but we're gonna have them on. I've already talked to Aurelio. I'm gonna have them on, and hopefully Tanner and Gage and everybody else that's a part of the skate park crew. And we're going to talk about all the updates and what's going on and what that fight looked like, and the victory that came from it. So yeah, we're gonna do that here, hopefully sometime in the next month, as well as a slew of other people that I would like to get on the podcast. I know, like I said, Jimmy Vincent would be cool. Like to, ton of people. There's a bunch of people. So we're going to do that. A lot of it right now is just me and Mallory trying to get our apartment in order. She had all of her stuff moved in, and all of my stuff is unorganized because I organize in chaos. So we've been, it's massive. It's been a pretty massive undertaking, and so we're getting it all done. We've been wanting to focus on that the most. So once that kind of slows down a little bit, and we get a lot of that taken care of, I'm going to start doing these some more episodes on here and get back to it, because when I really think about it, this is a fun outlet to just have conversations with local artists, and something that I if you see me out at shows, I'm not much of a extrovert, and I kind of tend to just like to hang out in the back and listen to music, or talk to one or two people that I know that I already feel comfortable with, instead of stepping out of my skin and talking to new artists and new people. So nothing against you guys, I just am quiet. or introverted. So yeah, but it's good to me. It's good for me to actually get to know people in a more personal setting while recording for a purpose of promoting them and the music scene. So I'm going to keep doing it, and I want to keep doing it as long as Richland Source is happy with me still doing it after this hiatus. I haven't talked to him at all. Well, I talked to Zach a little bit, and he was telling me about some people that want to get on the podcast, so we're going to have them on. But so I think I'm still good. I don't think they're bumping me yet, but if I all of a sudden just disappear again, you know what happened. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to keep these things rolling. It's going to be a good rest of the year. Next year is going to be awesome. Festivals are going to be really cool. Mothership's having a bunch of shows. Oh yeah, that's right. Man, I really need to make notes. This would be a lot more professional and it would flow better. And most of you guys would probably stick around to this point if I'd make notes and organize this. But organization and chaos. The Henrys, Mr. and Mrs. Jake and Jill Henry, have been putting on shows at AK Hair Salon, Andrew Kleiman's hair salon, in their basement. They started doing that, like artist showcase type shows, and I think it is a really cool idea. Told them that I love it. I love what they're trying to do, packaging wise with shows, branding wise with shows. Just kind of step out of the box and do something a little more creatively professional in a music scene. And I appreciate the work that they're doing with that. I love it. It's nice because I think the one thing that we talk about a lot is Mansfield needs a lot more venues. It needs a lot more spaces that people can go to see specific genres and or mixed genres in various settings. It kind of keeps things fun and lively. People get tired of the same setting, so people don't get too over it and keep wanting to come out and keep it interesting. But also what it does is again, as I'm always talking about, it helps to unify the music scene to get more people involved. I know so many artists that I don't know that exist within Mansfield that I'm sure if they knew, or we knew, that there are places that they can come and play, try out their music for the first time if they've never performed, and start growing the music scene and the artist culture around that concept with multiple venues in that same area. Just kind of grow the community in general. It would be really cool, and I know there's a lot of people that would be interested in that. So I think the more venues we have, the more various types of shows that we have will perk people's interests and encourage them to promote it and tell their friends, tell their family, and invite them out to the shows. So yeah, if anybody knows of any place that's actually wanting to have shows, message me on the Instagram and let me know, and I'll put it in the hands of the right people. Any artists that are wanting to get on shows as well, message the Instagram and open mic PD cast, and I will try my best to get them in the right hands of people having shows. The Mothership is still doing its thing, and that's awesome because it's a more intimate, personal setting as a house venue. It's more casual, kind of like a house party type thing, and that's always a good time. Those are my favorite kind of shows to play with Dive Bomb. Those are my favorite kind of shows in general. I'm not a huge fan of massive stages over all the time. I prefer more intimate settings, and so I love the Mothership for that. And so yeah, it just keeps diversifying show wise, and I think there's going to be a lot of cool shows that come this next year. The last couple Henry shows at AK Hair were awesome. Andrew's doing a killer job with the basement. He's making it nicer. He had, I didn't get to go to the last one. I think I had to work. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember why I missed it, but yeah, I know they got Lee involved with Potent Studios to do lighting within the space, which I'm really bummed that I missed that, because I think what makes what Lee's doing really interesting in my mind is seeing it in spaces that he is chained to a specific room design, to where he has to add lights and get more creative in a confined space, as opposed to just having all the space that he needs for his entire rig. And so that's what happened. AK Hair Salon, the shows happen in their basement, and it's just kind of a narrow-ish rectangle basement room. And so I'm sure he did some really cool things with the lights and made it look awesome with the setup. So I'm sad I missed that, but the shows seem like they're doing really well. I enjoyed the couple of them that I went to. Dive Bomb played one of them. Basement shows, man, they're awesome. House shows, they're awesome. So Electric Company has a nice stage, which is a great reprieve from the intimacy where Dive Bomb's last show is going to be. The sound is awesome there. They do a killer freaking job with the sound. And yeah, man, keep up the good work, everybody. I'm just here to encourage y'all and tell you that I love it, and my opinion is the only one that matters. So keep listening to the Open Mic Podcast so that I can give you direction with my all-knowing wisdom and logic, is really what I'm saying. That's... yeah. We need to, I think, also get better at communicating. If anybody has any ideas, I've been thinking about that as well. There's been a lot of conflicting shows, and it's difficult. It happens. It's going to happen. It's not completely. It's not. It's unavoidable, but not completely unavoidable, because when you're trying to bring in touring bands, they have dates that need filled, and they can only be here on that specific date. So sometimes you're booking a show, you got those kind of limitations to work around. So it's going to happen, but I think we could also maybe mitigate that better as well. I think there's got to be a way that we can mitigate that to the smallest percentage from happening. I know I remember having a conversation with Aaron Nicholas years ago about, I think Kalamazoo, Michigan was trying to set up a DIY Facebook calendar type space for their music scene, to where everybody was a part of it, and they submitted their shows on a calendar, and so all the local venues were able to log in, or promoters and venues were able to log in and see this calendar and say, oh, okay, they're having a show on this date. We're not going to book that then. Let's try and book that here, yada, yada. And then you could communicate within the forum. I don't like Facebook. I know Gmail has some really cool features with their Drive, to where you can share Google calendars and documents and spreadsheets, their answer to Excel. So that might be an option if there's somebody out there that knows how to do that stuff really well and can set that up. I don't know. That's just something I've been thinking about. I know with that, when you do things like that, people don't want to log on. People don't want to have to worry about another aspect of hoops and things that they have to work within to book a show, because booking shows can be really frustrating in general without having to worry about anything else, because you're trying to coordinate multiple bands' time and schedules for one specific day, and that's difficult and frustrating because working with a couple people to coordinate times is difficult already, let alone working with bands that sometimes have 5 people in it all. It can be a very big headache. So I understand that having that aspect of having to worry about other people's shows and stuff when you just want to focus on your thing is frustrating, and a lot of people don't want to do it. I get it. So that's why I'm talking about it this way, transparently, because I want to figure out, or if anybody knows, how do we make that as easy as possible for people and make it so that everybody wants to do that. I know the incentive of trying to get more people at your show is helpful, but I also know, we all have other lives, and this isn't what makes it's not what brings money home to people. This is a labor of love for everybody involved, and so having those extra steps of things that you don't really want to do because you're busy in other aspects of your life, I get completely. So yeah, anyway, that's something that's been on my heart. If anybody has any ideas for that, message the Instagram. We can put together some kind of chat, maybe. I don't know. That's even group messages anymore than everybody's already involved is so annoying. So I don't know. There's got to be something though. I know there's very smart people and within the music scene and in the periphery of it that have ideas that hopefully can figure something out and knows technology maybe better than I do. I don't know technology much at all. I'm kind of like an old man. I don't get it. Or I just don't try to. I don't know. It's annoying. But yeah, if somebody has any ideas, let's figure something out. I think it would be worth it to figure something out. I think too much there, and yeah, so I'm moving on. Let's do that. Yeah, thank you guys for listening to me rant for however long this is. I think that's everything that I wanted to bring to the table. I want to get back into trying to do the things that made me excited about doing this podcast in the first place, and try and focus on those things and make this much better, and hopefully eventually start making notes and be a little more professional, intentional, other AL ending words that make sense with that stream of thought. And yeah, let's make this thing cool again, because I let it drop off, and I'm sorry for that. So cheers to the end of 2023 and to the beginning of a lot of cool happenings in the Mansfield music, art, and music scene. Thank you to our sponsors. This has been another episode of the Open Mic Podcast. That's how I end these things. I couldn't remember how I ended it. It's been that long. Thank you for another episode of the Open Mic Podcast with me, your host, Tom Hirst. Brought to you by Richland Source, Newsroom After Hours. Sponsored by Potent Studios. Lee McIntosh, the man. Who else do I pretend that sponsors this? Oh yeah, Two Cousins Pizza. Phil told me they put out this bomb brisket a couple weeks ago. I still haven't got in to try it, but apparently it's popping off. Everybody's loving it. It's the hip new thing. Two Cousins brisket. Go buy it. And then Henry Screen Printing. That's the third one that I say pretends to sponsor this. Henry Screen Printing. If you need some shirts, go find Jake, because he's going to be printing a lot less with Dive Bomb not being around anymore. So fill up his time with any shirt that you have an idea for. Start a t-shirt company and start slinging some t-shirts and get them printed through Jake and Jill Henry. Yeah. That's all I've got. I'm going to leave now, so I stop rambling. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. It's Friday. Peace.